This is the Business Experience Show, where we talk to entrepreneurs about the challenges and successes of starting, owning, or operating a business.
Welcome back to the Business Experience Show. We're talking with financial planner Scot, Shier, networking and speech coach Victor Broski, and attorney Deborah Reisdorph. To find more information about any of our guests, visit our website, thebusinessexperienceshow.com. That's thebusinessexperienceshow.com. In the break, we're all talking about why you choose someone for business, when you give a referral away. And we all could agree that when we give our business to someone, usually it's someone that we like and trust. And how do you earn that likeness and trust from people? Well, you get to know them. Having a good speech is important. And I know being a financial planner for 17 years, Scot, I'm sure it's been it's very difficult for a financial planner to get business just on the first, hi, I'm Scot Shier. I'm a financial planner. Now give me your business.
Yeah. That's a great way to end things quickly. Yeah. So whenever you want to sleep on that plane flight, just introduce yourself that way, and you don't have to worry about it. No, most of the businesses developed one-on-one, and I always wondered, these people would proudly say, I get my business only from referrals. And really what they're saying is that they're afraid to get up in front of a group of people, because really the most effective way for people to get to safely know you is in a seminar where they're not in a one-on-one threatening position. They're part of the group listening to you. So as a presenter, when I can get out there and be transparent, be enjoyable, throw in a little humor, but also address those hard topics that some would think are boring or threatening, but make them enjoyable, and obviously let it come through that I enjoy them, then that's a way to build that relationship with a lot of people at once. Hence, being a speaker is really a powerful tool.
Right. And you're on many organizations and boards, and you're on the Mission Viejo Chamber of Commerce. I mean, what aren't you on? When do you work is what I want to know.
That's funny. Well, one of the latest ones is the Financial Planning Association, which is a great group of certified financial planners and affiliated professionals. And I think one of the reasons why I was invited onto that board was because of the public speaking part.
That's great. So here we're talking now with Victor Broski. He wrote the book, They're Not Laughing Because You're Not Funny, But You Can Be 16 and a Half Ways to Add Humor to Any Presentation. Why did you write this book, Victor?
Because people don't think they are funny. And I want to give them some tips for myself. I realized that when somebody says something, my mind races for something funny. I automatically try to find something funny. If I do, I say it. If I don't, I don't say it.
Do you think you've always been naturally funny, or is it something you have worked on?
Well, I'm sure I worked on it.
Okay.
But my dad, my dad is sort of funny. I just came from a family gathering. My brothers throw something out. My nieces throw something out. The other nephews throw something out. We're all throwing jokes back and forth. So it's just enjoyable. Who can top the other one? So but I think you have to work at it. If I'm going through a checkout counter, I'm doing my best to make it enjoyable for the person behind the checkout counter. I want to make their day a little bit different. I think I've had somebody look at me one time and say, "Thanks, you made my day."
You pay attention to other people. You're present, eye contact.
Exactly. It's funny, when somebody asked me how my day was or how am I doing, I said, fine. How about you? And they were shocked that I was asking about them.
Right.
So people don't go through the line, looking at how the other people are.
And there's a difference about being funny, because it's about funniness and being funny at someone's expense.
Oh, good point from her bullying point of view. Exactly.
Right. Of course. We got to expose
like
the bully.
I like in your book, Why Humor, you say most attendees are expecting a dry, drawn-out, and straightforward presentation. Most attendees are thinking, the sooner you start, the sooner I can get out of here and back to work. So you want to surprise them and add a little humor.
Oh, start with the introduction. When they're reading your introduction, have that a little bit light and lively. And at your first sentence, they're sitting back there listening to your first sentence, first, second, and third sentence. Did I make the right choice to be here?
Right. They're judging.
They're what?
They're judging you.
They're judging you right away. So something light right off the bat.
So how long have you been part of Speakers Bureau, and what do you enjoy most about it? It's free. You volunteer your time.
I do it for free. That's one of my words describing it must be giving, because I do it for free.
Yes.
It's watching the growth in the people. I think is what makes it most fun for me, is watching the growth in the people in the audience. I just love that.
Victor, can you give at least one success story on how you helped someone related to your business?
A fun one was, there was a Fortune 500 insurance company. It was their yearly meeting. 500 people flew in for their yearly meeting, and they asked me to coach the actuary, which is an accountant plus.
Oh.
I didn't say it. You
yeah.
said, oh. I coached him, and after about 3 times, it was his turn to speak. He got up on the stage, walked away from the lectern, told a joke, which they all laughed at, and went back and gave his presentation. And afterwards, he was beaming. He got so many pats in the back for a good job. Some people even said, "Who was that out there?" Because he was that good, that much of a switch to being.
So you had 3 days to work with this actuary.
Three different events, yeah, correct.
To make him shine.
Correct.
That's great. And then you've talked about coaching a lady going for a high-level Toastmasters accredited speaker status.
That's a pretty high level in Toastmasters. Not very many people get that. And she was a good speaker. Has been speaking quite a bit, but she wasn't quite herself up there. She would sit down and talk, and she's funny. Mm-hmm. Well, let's get that across up there. So I showed her the video of herself, and it was like, oh, that's me. I told her to quadruple her delivery, which means she only doubled it. Then she went out and gave her talk. And I called up and said, well, how was the talk? And her answer surprised me, but now that's what I shoot for. Her answer was, it was fun.
It was fun.
So, yeah. So it means the audience had fun as well because of the humor.
That's great. So explain for the audience that they just tuned in about Toastmasters and Speakers Bureau and why they should join or learn more about it. And I believe that if you're a business owner, you can always improve your speech, your talk, the way you connect with others.
Some people join Toastmasters to be paid speakers. I wasn't aware of that. Some people join just for that. So that's kind of where we exist. They're in Toastmasters for a while, and maybe the evaluation is to... I remember a evaluation from years ago that said, very good, Victor. We're glad you're a member of our club. That does me no good.
Okay.
So if I want to be a speaker, I got to go, where's the next level up? So our Speakers Bureau, I think we're 2 levels up, but that's me. We're the next level up for people who want to go out and get paid to speak. We help them from a marketing point of view, a business point of view as well. We will have an educational portion, a 20-minute educational portion, to give them some suggestions on being a paid speaker.
I had the opportunity to attend a Speakers Bureau event a few weeks ago. It was in the evening, and recapped some of the critique that the evaluations get for the speakers.
Here is a tough one that even shocked me for as long as I've been there. A guy was giving a talk about his book. He just had a book published, which we encourage also. He just had a book published, and it sounded great. Great title and great description of what his talk was on. Well, he meandered for 12, 13 minutes of his 20-minute talk. Meandered telling stories. I was like, oh, get to the point. Well, finally he had to rush through the 5 points of his book. A guy stood up and said, I brought my money to buy your book. Now I'm not buying it. It went the opposite direction. That's harsh.
Right.
But he needs to know that. If nobody buys his book, he needs to know why.
So the next time he comes back, would he then speak again? Or does that...
Yeah, well, we have other people in line.
Okay.
So he kind of has to wait, but he's welcome to do it again. Second time to get better at it. Correct.
So I've been part of book clubs. It's Writers Club. It's kind of the same thing. You get so many people get to speak, and then so many people are the evaluators. Correct.
And anybody can evaluate. We're a little bit different about that. Anybody can evaluate from our group. And I'm going to let those go as long as they go, because that's where you learn is from the evaluations.
So, Victor, what are 3 adjectives that describe you?
I jotted down giving, because the time I put in the Speakers Bureau.
Giving.
And I care about people, care about the audience. If we're doing some networking, I want to know everything about you. What you do, I want to know all that. And then we chuckle about this word, authentic. I think I'm myself, whether I'm on stage or I'm right here, I'm myself. First time I heard authentic self, I chuckled. I go, no kidding.
Fake self? Are you your fake self today?
I'm not my I don't know what a fake self would be, so I think you're always going to get me.
Yeah, that's interesting when you said, when people say, be your authentic self. It could go, but if you're an actor, you don't want to be your authentic self.
I wonder if they know who that is.
Right?
Correct. They got to be that person for sure.
And what are some of your favorite books?
Anything by Jeffrey Gitomer. Little red book of selling. He's got little black book of connections. And for networking, I liked Never Eat Alone by, I think it's Farazi.
Mm-hmm.
If someone wants to follow in your footsteps, Victor, what advice do you have for them?
Study, read. Don't think you're a great speaker already, because you have a lot to learn. And then humor. You've got to have humor, and you've got to practice.
So when someone comes up to you and they say, I want to be a paid speaker, I have these dreams or ambitions of doing this and that, writing a book, and what goes on in the back of your head if you know that they have a long way to go?
Oh, I wish you didn't ask that. I'll call somebody. Will call up and say, they call up and say, "How do I become a paid speaker?" Like there's 5 words or 10 words. Oh, it's a giant event.
Yes.
And what the paid speakers say, your job as a public speaker is to market yourself as a public speaker. You think, hey, I'm a great speaker. I should be able to get paid a lot of money. Doesn't work that way. They don't know about you.
But to answer, how do you do that? You can't answer
no,
that.
No, correct.
Right. It takes lots of time, and I know that before you're an expert at anything, I read that it takes 10,000 hours. You shared that with me. Thanks to you.
What's the author's name? Did I give you the author?
You gave it to me, and I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah.
The book is Outliers, and he says 10,000 hours makes you an expert. Then he explains about Bill Gates. It wasn't just he was good at it. He really worked at it.
Right.
Correct.
And the same with the Beatles. They weren't great until they put in their
all the small venues they played, the many small venues they played.
I heard the same thing from my tennis coach. You got to do that serve 10,000 times to get it really perfect.
Wow. So what do you think we've done 10,000 hours from in here, guys?
Sleep. I'm really good at sleep.
Oh my God.
I'm good at sleep. I love sleeping.
I've read over 100 books on public speaking.
Wow.
So I'm that nutcase. I'm heading for my 10,000.
Yeah, you get the medal, Victor.
Okay.
You get the medal.
Thank you.
Deborah?
Well, if you count 8 hours of work time as an attorney, I'm an expert after 8 years.
Yes, attorneys work a lot of hours. I have 10,000 hours of observing and watching body language.
There you go.
I grew up really shy, and I never spoke. So when you don't speak, what do you do? But you become good at watching people, watching their mannerisms, I could predict the result of something or by watching patterns. So for me, learning public speaking and continuing to improve myself, oh God, I claim to never be perfect. In fact, it's funny because when I get in front of a group of guys, and usually guys like to be perfect or they're right about things, I laugh because I'm like, why do you want to be perfect? That's so boring.
It is.
I always I play on being totally not perfect. I immediately say, I'm not perfect, and I will take the medal for being not perfect. Okay, you win. You're perfect.
Well, I got to throw this out. Along that line, whenever a couple is getting ready to get married, the woman is always praying for that perfect wedding, and always tell them, no, you do not want a perfect wedding. You will not remember a perfect wedding. You always remember what went wrong, but you still made it through.
Good point.
Yeah, one thing. Yeah, I don't know why that's a good thing you bring up weddings, because weddings are always the same. There's this pattern to them based on the culture you go to, and sometimes I think in the back of my head, God, that's boring. I would want something that's crazy, that's fun, that's totally not scripted.
But even if you plan it to be perfect, you don't worry about something going wrong.
Right.
Because that's what will give you the memories.
The expectation, right.
I think what you want is a video that can go on America's Funniest Videos for $1,000.
There you go, Deborah.
Pay for the wedding.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. So Victor, what else do you feel helps connect you with your audience?
Well, I gave a talk one time where I had 2 handouts from nonverbal communication point of view. One was on quality, shiny white paper. The other was on the cheap, quick copy paste paper. I brought the 2 handouts to use. Well, I walked out of the room and people started grabbing the handout. Well, that ruined my opening. Well, a speaker speaking down the hall said, "Take them back." So I walked into the audience before the talk and started taking back my handouts. So here's the speaker right next to the audience. And they looked at me, whoa. They saw that I had eye color. I'm right next to them. But it's one of my better presentations because I got into the audience beforehand. And that was a huge lesson, get into the audience beforehand. So you arrive to your presentation early, meet people, hear stories, know names. So when you say, I was talking to Scott earlier today and he said, I'm just a great guy because I know about Scott and that group. So get there early.
And he's happy to connect with you.
Oh, he's beaming because I call it. Somebody watched me do that with somebody, and after I say their name, I look away. She said, "I watched him. You should have seen him. He was beaming because I picked him out."
So you've read so many books on self-improvement, on speaking. What are some of your top talks, Victor, that you would want to be remembered for? Some of your tops. Speeches.
I want people to live younger longer. I have a book on living younger longer, and I want that because it's health-oriented, life-oriented, energy-oriented. That's what I'd want to almost be known for more than speech coaching.
How long do you want to live till? Like 103, like Jiminy Cricket?
There's a group of people that think they're going to live forever. I don't think that, but I don't have an end. We
want to stay young forever. We may die when we get old, but we want to stay young.
I want to stay forever. I want to go until everything runs out at the same time and I'm gone.
So what are some of your practices to live longer? Be healthy.
I eat well. I work out. I play sports. I want to get a young outlook. I'm going to listen to young music every once in a while just to keep me inspired. Be around some young people.
Do they think
laugh.
you're weird? No, I'm kidding.
Laugh, right?
He's like,
Humor.
I'm around young people and I'm listening to your music and they're like, what are you doing here?
I can't be part of them. I know that. But one compliment I got, one guy said to me, "You're the youngest old guy I know." The youngest old guy I know. So they know I'm the old guy, but I'm going to have fun and joke with them. So that keeps me young.
I think I've always heard Tremendous Jones and others, humor healed them from cancer and different things. Just laughing, a lot of laughter, the endorphins and all that releases is a great, healthy thing.
So we got to take a quick break. When we come back, we continue the conversations with today's show panel, attorney Deborah Reisdorph, financial planner Scot, Shier, and speech coach Victor Broski. Audience, please follow our blog. If you'd like to contribute, go directly to thebusinessexperienceshow.com. That's thebusinessexperienceshow.com. I'm Lisa Caprelli. You're listening to Sports Radio AM 830 KLAA. We'll be right back.
With unlimited choices in the world today for customers to find you, how do you stand out from your competition? If you've been wanting more leads, more results through social media, search engine optimization, video SEO, a better web presence, the Business Experience Show and Lisa Caprelli can help you. We will evaluate any other offer you've been given for free to help your business grow. You need a plan. You need a strategic business roadmap. We can point you in the right direction. How will your customers choose you? Where will technology take you? Are you paying too much for pay-per-click? How do you get to the top of Google organically? We can help. Get a free review. Contact us today at thebusinessexperienceshow.com. That's thebusinessexperienceshow.com. We're a business radio show dedicated to helping you grow your business effectively. It's easy. Market your business online and offline promote your brand. Get a better web presence. Want to advertise or be a guest on our show? Go to thebusinessexperienceshow.com and join our growing business network.